What's going on, people? This is your boy Market Omega back at it again with another weekly recap. I'll be going over the trades from this week. So without further ado, let's go. All right. So we start with the SPY. So right now the SPY is actually fading. The whole week, I would say actually the whole month, to be honest, it's just been, back and forth between Nancy Pelosi, Steve Mnuchin, the president, and Mitch McConnell. One day it's like, okay, yeah, we're getting close to a deal. It's going to happen, within the next few days. And then the next day it's like, nope, it's not going to happen. We're still significantly apart. And then, they've been doing this back and forth up until actually today, like as right now. And as I'm recording this, this breaking news saying, now they're significantly apart. Mnuchin says that Nancy Pelosi has to compromise on her deal. And Nancy Pelosi is saying, well, I already kind of compromised, and I'm not willing to go lower than X amount. And now Donald Trump is getting in saying, hey, looks like Nancy Pelosi wants to make a deal after the election, and also, he just doesn't want there to be a bailout for the Democratic-run states. I mean, I don't know. Who cares, man? It's just back and forth. The market will go up on some optimistic news, and then less than 24, 48 hours again, they come out and say, hey, no deal, and then the market tanks. It's just, choppy. But, just taking a look at the SPY right here, it's still, honestly, it's still holding. Broke above this level. It actually formed like an inverse head and shoulder, like right here. Actually, let me take this off for you guys so you can get a better view. So like right here is the left shoulder, the head, right shoulder, the break of the neckline. So, target is about the 260s, possibly 270s. And, this is all the chop. Okay, we're going to go. No, we're not. We have a deal. No, we don't. Blah, 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 up and down. And that's what you're getting right here, right? But coincidentally, it's actually forming a flag, a bull flag, right? So you take a look right here. Let me see if I can do this. This is right there. You see this? See this right there? Bam. Which is why I'm still very confident on holding this long to end of November. I'm still confident on my assertions that we're going to break all-time highs before the middle of November. That's basically what I feel. And, I'm still holding on to my my SPY options, November options trade. So where's that? Somewhere around here. All the way down. Anyway, I'm still really bullish. I still think we break all-time highs. And, once we do that, we're going to get a rip all the way. We're going to get a rip all the way. So that's pretty much what I'm looking at right now. Okay. So that said, just to recap some of the trades we've had this week. I mean, this week, honestly, it's been favoring the shorts. A lot of shorts are banking this week, and I didn't really expect this, to be honest. I'm thinking, we're in the time when, the stocks start to run. We have these runs with these stocks. And what happens is, we have this extended move up, and this is around the time of year. We're in October, ending of October, actually. So, but, we have about a week left for October. Hopefully November, that's when we get the real momentum come into the market. And also, if it can coincide with the time that the stimulus gets passed, we can really see some movement in small cap land. So let me go over some of the trades I took this week. So I'll start with BIMI. So where was it? So Monday, I took a trade on BIMI. So let me type that up here. So BIMI, right? Let me go back. So on it, I've traded a few stocks this whole I've traded a few stocks this week based on patterns. Okay, I've traded a lot of stocks this week based on patterns, and basically, let me show you guys. I took a trade on BIMI, and this was basically an ABCD setup that I took right there. I don't know if you guys could see it, but it was in pre-market, right? So if you take a look right here, you see this. See this right here? So this is like a higher low, right? Holding above this moving averages right here. And I took the trade right there on this break. It was a very clean trade. Very clean, very, nice, nice move to the upside. So I got long somewhere around here, and then I just scaled out. And it was, I got over a point on that. It was really good, really clean, And you guys that know me, like I like stocks that move cleanly. I don't like the stocks that'll pop up and then all the way down and then pop up again. A bunch of traps, and we've actually gotten a lot of those this week, and I'll go over them in a second. But mostly, I like these orderly, trending stocks. The stocks that go up, pull back, go up, pull back, and then hold above certain levels, and there's just like an orderly movement without games on the level too. So that's the trade I took on BIMI. I actually took another trade on CCNC the same day. Gosh, I need some water. So CCNC, wow. Okay, so CCNC, take a look right here, right? It's like a double bottom. Okay, see this? It's sort of like a double bottom / triangle formation, right? Okay. So basically, I was watching this and I was like, I typed this out in chat. I'm like, market open, I'm going to go long on this trade because I like the formation. It looked really, really good. At least for a relief bounce, because it had pulled back all the way from 6, and right now it's holding like the 3 level. So, that's, that's about a 50% move downwards or even more. So I was like, well, I'm going to get the pop, and that's what happened. As soon as the market opened, I had orders ready to go, so that, because I knew that there was a possibility that it will pop. And as soon as the market opened, boom, I got filled. It popped up. And sold a portion for like 40 to 50 cents right here, and it halted. And then when the stock halted, I watched it. So it popped up over 4. I think I filled at like 402 or something, because I knew there was probably going to be some resistance on that at the whole number. And then it came down, and then I just stopped out the rest. So that was that. That was the only trade I took on CCNC. I didn't trade this at all. I didn't touch it. Let's see, CBLI, I took that as well. So CBLI was basically, if you take a look, it was a huge another pattern trade. It was a double bottom, right? So where was that? Just give me 1 second. Right here. So CBLI, it was right here, right? You see this break right there? It was basically, this is a nice, clean double bottom. Beautiful. This is a beautiful double bottom, And I always preach about this pattern. This is my favorite pattern. This double bottom, inverse head and shoulders, those are 2 of my favorite patterns. So got long right there. Scaled out on the move up. This is beautiful. And I actually thought it was going to at least pop and sustain, possibly get to 5 before the pullback. But it popped over 480s and then all the way down. But then, I'd already taken profit on there. So it just kind of popped down and came back again, broke 5, and then, fade. So we've pretty much seen a lot of these stocks do the same pop and fade patterns, at the market open. All right, so another trade was EVK, another pattern trade. So EVK, it was right, where was that? It was 22nd. So EVK was basically a double bottom trade that I took. It's right there. If you can, let me show you guys right here. If you take a look right there, I'm sure you can spot it. It's right there. Perfect trade. Got long on this break. Bam, scaled out. Beautiful, clean, no headaches, and it was awesome. So that was the trade that I took, right? I actually took another trade on KBSF. Now, this KBSF trade was pretty much more like a late day mover, right? So it was a late day mover. I was actually done trading, right? I didn't trade this at the open. I was, busy trading other stuff, but I was actually done trading, but I just happened to catch this as it was popping up right here, right? So I'm like, wow, this kind of looks good. Why? Because it was a huge double bottom. You see this right here? Boom, boom. I liked it, right? So I was like, well, this looks like, we could get, it could really go. So I was watching as soon as it was popping. I honestly, I would say I got lucky on this trade because as soon as I turned, I just so happened to have the ticker on, in one of my montage. And, I was doing something else. And as soon as I turned, I was literally about to shut down my platform. And the KBSF was still in that montage. So I was like, oh, wow. And it was still there. So I was like, oh, okay. This is looking good. It's popping up because I was literally about to shut down my computer. So when I saw this, I was like, okay, this is nice little pattern break right here. So I got long, I think the 340s or somewhere, and boom, you got this move. So that was a nice little gain wallet pattern trade right there. So just added to the day's gains. So I like that. So for the trades for today's trade, man, one word to describe today was just games and nothing more, just a bunch of games, honestly. So basically, ZDGE, we had ZDG, we had SCKT, CLPS, DOGZ, EVK, Sava, MDGS. Those were the stocks on my watch list, right? But out of those stocks, the main ones I was actually watching were these five right here, right? So the first one, basically, I was watching ZDK, right? And I basically what happened with this trade, I actually liked the way it was. It was kind of like holding up in pre-market and stuff, and it was forming like a nice little pattern, right? I would say this is more like a nice cup and then cup and handle formation, which is probably the handle right here. And what I was thinking was, if this thing would pop up, right? It pops up, holds above this level. I would look for a way to get long somewhere around there, right? So what happened was, I actually talked about it in the chat. I was like, hey guys, watch ZDGE for push. I'm going to be watching this at the open because I thought it was just going to pop up and then we get some consolidation and then a second move up. So what happened, basically popped up, got stuffed at the pre-market highs and then dumped. And basically it hasn't had a decent bounce all morning. It's just pop, wash, fade, right? And it's like, man, there's really no decent long setup on this anymore, honestly. After this pop and fade, there wasn't really a much you could do on the long side. And what I think, these actually, let me talk about SCKT before I go into my thought process. But SCKT, so SCKT, I took that, and basically, the stock popped up, got stuffed at pre-market, and then faded, and then got flushed. Sorry. So basically, when it fell, I actually tried to bounce it because I'm thinking, okay, you know what, this is, there's a possibility that this can hold this level and then, pop up to like at least a VWAP or more. But I think I got long in like the 350s and then came all the way down and stopped me out. And I was like, okay, you know what? I mean, I have to pay close attention to the stock because, it looks like something's going on here, because look at this. This was a hard reject. I mean, let's see if I can get that volume. So this was a hard reject on this candle right here, right? On this 1 minute candle is over, what is this, over 2.4 million on this 1 minute candle. Just 1 minute, 2.4 million shares downwards. I mean, that was pretty, that's pretty large. This one is 1.5 and this one is only 947. So that was a pretty big drop. So I'm thinking, okay, you know what, we can get a bigger bounce, but, I got flushed. But when that happened, I said, okay, you know what, I'm going to still watch this. I'm going to watch this because, I think it's not over yet. I'm just going to watch and see how it trades or if I, see a pattern that forms or something. And sure enough, you know, it looked like it was holding this 350s. You know, it kept holding this like 350s area, and I was watching it, and I saw this right here, this nice double bottom form right there. So I got long, and like right here, I think the 360s. That's the way I took my long position. I got long at 361, I think, or 363 somewhere, and then got the pop, and it was a nice little move right there on this break. See that? That was a nice, really nice move. So those are the two trades I took. You know, I just like, I mean, this stock, SCKT, they're playing a lot of games on this stock, right? Somebody was unloading a lot of shares, and what they were doing is, you know, they just kept like, you know, stop hunting, right? They pop it up, and then, you know, trap the shorts in there, and then they drop it, trap longs. Like it was just back and forth. You know, every pop was getting sold into, right? Every pop was getting sold into, and like right here, these washes just getting bought up and ripped. So people, you know, they trap the short sellers around here that'll slam the lows, and then they rip it, and then the longs FOMO in over here, thinking we're gonna continue higher, and then they drop it, and then the shorts think, okay, this might be the end. Let's short this thing to oblivion, and then they rip it, and it was just like back and forth, you know. And around this like four area, there was, if you kept watching the tape, there was heavy distribution around this area. You know, somebody or some, you know, entity was unloading a lot of shares, and you could see it on the tape. It was just consistent refresh. You know, they were refreshing the offer, kept refreshing the offer, and finally, this was the death drop. You know, I think the guy just said, you know what, I'm tired of this games. I'm just gonna market out the remaining shares. You know, and he just just probably slammed the bid and just said, "F it." And then that's how you got this big old wash right here, this flush, and it's been, you know, dead ever since. So, you know, there's a lot of games on this stock. This one stock had a whole lot of games, man. This SCKT, and you know, if you were long, you know, it was more so, a smash and grab type of play. You know, and I think that's, you know, that's what we've been getting. You know, this whole week, it's been, you know, it hasn't been really great for longs. You know, you have to be like quick, nimble, and you know, if you get in, you know, make the money and you get out. You don't want to overstay your welcome. So, I think, you know, shorts are eating right now, and eventually the tide is gonna turn, right? I mean, there's just the seasonality of the small cap market. You know, what happens is, you know, after a while, shorts, you know, the shorts start eating, and they're making money. You know, these what you call it, higher day rejects and these fades and all of that. It's everything is working, and then, you know, eventually the shorts get complacent and they start to like slam lows. They start to short every pop, thinking, you know, hey, that's, you know, the last few weeks or months we've been having these same patterns. So why don't we just, you know, keep doing it? It's just gonna keep, you know, it's gonna last. And one day you're gonna have a stock like an SPI to just come around, trap all the shorts, act like it's fading, and then boom, go up 1,000%. And then the next day, another stock does the same thing, and then you have this FOMO, this free feeding frenzy of multiple stocks just doing, you know, trying to do the same thing, and then you have sympathy momentum and all of that. So usually we get those around that November to December time. So let's see what happens. Okay. So all right. I didn't trade CLPS. Yeah, another fade. You see that? Reject, fade. Same pattern we've been getting. See this? Reject, fade. This one probably never even got up. So the only stock that kind of did well a little bit was EVK, because EVK kind of had an orderly movement yesterday. Kind of broke and then went up. That did well. You know, that was a pretty orderly stock. But the rest, you know, it's just been up, pop, fade, pop, fade. Sava, hell no. This stock is, to me, is just, I mean, at this point, there's a lot of bag holders. Every pop is just going to get sold into. I mean, every pop is just, same thing with MDGS. I mean, look at all these red candles. Red candle, red candle. Every pop is a freaking red candle. You know, you can make a lot of money on this stock if you just, Just short the pops. As soon as it pops, just short it because it just looks like it's gonna go red every day. All right, so that's it, man. Thank you guys for listening to my weekly market recap. Remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on post notifications so you get notified whenever I upload new content. Also, feel free to subscribe to madasmoney.com. The link is in the description below. And, when you subscribe, you can look me up in there. I'm Market Omega. Feel free to send me a message. I do my best to respond and answer questions as much as possible. And feel free to follow me on Twitter at Market Omega. I post my ideas on stocks, cryptocurrencies, sports, and just life in general. All right. Once again, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you guys for listening. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll talk to you next week.